Yo, what is good YouTube? I'm Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the brand new Kyrie Infinity or the Kyrie 8. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and also hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Kyrie Infinity features a multi-directional traction pattern. It kind of looks like a modified herringbone almost, but it also kind of looks like, I don't know, a shattered glass pattern. That's the best way I can describe it, and that's pretty much featured across the entire outsole. And the traction on here, I would say, is pretty solid. Definitely at first, the traction is pretty bad. Even on the cleanest courts, like this is legit the first time I ever played in the shoe. I was playing on the cleanest court that I possibly could, and I was sliding, and it was really a bummer, and I was kind of scared at first because I wasn't expecting to be sliding that much even after wiping. And like I said, this was a clean court, so wiping really didn't do much. However, you gotta let this traction break in. The traction does get better over time. You just got to keep playing in it, and I promise you it will become better. The traction footage you're going to see is when I was still in that break-in process. However, now the traction is good. If you want to stop on a dime, you will stop. I wouldn't say on a dime, maybe like a nickel. It's definitely not the best traction out there right now, but it is still really good. You can do your movements, your Kyrie-like movements all you want once the traction is broken in. But yeah, there is a pretty rough break-in period. You just got to get through it, and then the traction will perform really good. So moving on to the cushion, the Kyrie Infinity features some sort of foam midsole, honestly probably some sort of Phylon. However, you also have a zoom unit in the heel and a 4-foot air zoom strobel, and the zoom strobel in the 4-foot feels great. You sit right on top of that strobel, so you get that bounce, that responsiveness, that impact protection. You know, all of you should pretty much know what Zoom Strobel feels like about now, and it feels great in the shoe. Zoom Strobel is probably one of the best things that Nike has put out in recent years, and I'm glad that they're finally using it on the Kyrie Infinity. What I do wish happened though was that they use a full-length Zoom Strobel rather than just in the 4-foot and a regular zoom unit in the heel, because although the 4-foot feels great, the heel, I can't really feel the zoom all too much. If you're doing like really hard landings on the heel, you can maybe feel it just a little bit, but even then, that's kind of a stretch. It's fully encased in this foam, and it's really hard to feel if you're not putting immense amount of pressure into the heel area. However, you know, compared to previous Kyrie models, this is definitely the best cushion setup to date in my opinion, and just wish that, you know, they incorporated a full-length zoom unit. That would have been better. However, for me, you know, I always prefer, if they're going to do a great cushion setup, I just put it in the 4-foot, and they did that, so I can't complain all too much. The cushion setup, it is what it is. The cushion setup for me was fine. I would have just preferred a full-length zoom strobel. So moving on to the materials, the Kyrie Infinity features this textile upper with some fuse overlays for aesthetic purposes, and then you also have like these synthetic leather panels pretty much scattered across the entire shoe, mainly where the shoelaces go through on the lower portion and the upper portion, as well as this X pattern which helps pull you into the shoe. And then right here, you do have like this blue synthetic leather panel, and then the whole back half is this leather panel as well. So yeah, you know, the material usage on here is actually really nice. This is probably the best materials used on a Kyrie shoe in recent years. I have pretty much no complaints about the materials on the shoe. They feel great on foot. And then on the tongue, you do have like this textile upper tongue as well, and on the upper of the tongue you do have a fat leather tongue. This tongue is one of the fattest tongues I have used in a while. It feels great, honestly. It feels very comfortable on your foot. There's a lot of cushion for you, a lot of padding, and if you like to crank down your laces, you will not be feeling your laces digging into your foot at all in this shoe. Overall, the materials are really good on this shoe. The best materials I've seen on a Kyrie model as of late, and in terms of the performance, they get the job done like great. So yeah, the materials on the Kyrie Infinity are really good. So moving on to the fit, I went true to size, and these fit slightly narrow. And just something to mention is that this is the EP model, which is the overseas model, which is supposed to be built on like a wider frame basically. So compared to the model that's coming out in the US, which actually just hit the Nike US website yesterday, these probably run a little bit wider. So like I said, I'm a slightly wide footer. I went true to size and I felt pretty good. There is a little bit of pressure right here in the forefoot area, but it does break in. So I really don't feel anything anymore. But with the US model, if it's the same, you know, that's great. Slightly wide footers, you should be good going true to size as well. And then, you know, narrow footers, standard footers, regular footers, whatever you want to call it, going true to size is the way to go. However, if you do have wider feet, I would still suggest you all go up a half size. Or if you have, you know, slightly wider feet, and you've played in Kyrie models before, I would say go ahead and get the same size that you normally wear, and you should be good. Overall, the fit was nice. There is just a minimal amount of dead space up in the toe box area, but the materials lie very nicely over your foot everywhere else. You feel very, very snug in the shoe, and this cross pattern right here, it does actually like pull your foot into the shoe more when you crank up your laces. So yeah, overall, the fit in the Kyrie Infinity is really good. So moving on to the support, I had absolutely zero issues with the support in the Kyrie Infinity. You do have an internal heel counter with great heel sculpting. I didn't have any heel slippage. I didn't have any side-to-side movement on the footbed. And then you do have a very wide base. You aren't going to roll over on those lateral movements. And in terms of the torsional rigidity and stability, this is a very stiff shoe, so you're covered there as well. And even though this is a rounded outsole, you know, as most Kyries are, like I said, you don't have any issues when doing any of those lateral movements. You never feel like you're gonna roll over or anything like that. So yeah, you know, the support in the Kyrie Infinity is really good. So the Kyrie Infinity just released yesterday on the Nike US website, and I believe it's $130 for the black colorway. I think it's called like Fire and Ice or something like that. And for $130, definitely a solid pickup. Like I said, the one downside to this shoe is the fact that you do have to break in that traction, because the traction is pretty bad at first. You just gotta play through it and just put in the hours. But once you do get through that break-in period, the traction becomes really, really good. It's not the best traction, but it's still good. So yeah, just get through that break-in period and you all will love this shoe. I do like the cushion setup, although I wish it was full-length Zoom Strobel. And then the materials, support, fit, everything else about the shoe is awesome. And aesthetically, I also think this looks pretty cool. I'm sure there are other colorways which don't make it look as cool. The black colorway is, you know, pretty basic in my opinion, but it plays really well, and I would still suggest you all go pick up a pair if you are interested. I'll leave a link for you down in the description box down below to make that a little bit easier for yourself if you do decide to go and buy a pair. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below, and also hit that thumbs up button for me, as it really does help me out. Check out this video on my left and on my right, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.